one thing, like I said, it comes down to we have to be an unconditional team. It doesn't matter what the other team's doing or what state of their organization is or what they are playing for. We have to be good each and every game as individuals and as a unit, as a team. And I think the biggest thing is, like I said, there's some play that needs to be picked up. We know that. But, it was a lot of different things to where it was one of those games. But like I said, it ended up being a learning lesson from us that whether we're ahead or behind, we have to have faith in one another that we can all finish with the win.
Did Jock Sound disappoint you?
No, well, anytime the ball's on the ground, we're all disappointed, But, Jock's doing a good job thus far in this season. He has to get back to the fundamentals. He has to make sure that his mind is always in it. I'm not saying his mind was out of it, but he has to make sure he knows, that's 2 weeks in a row that he's had a crucial error.
With Matt Brown here, will Doc get a chance?
That's something that always has to be evaluated. Even ball security is number one, but there's still a lot of learning that Matt has to do before he enters in. Like I said, I can't say that he won't get one because we don't know how the roster shakes up, and it may be us adding one guy.
So there wasn't anything wrong with Doc Sanders? He just decided
To drop the ball, nothing's wrong with his hands. You got to catch him.
Did you talk to the offense? I mean, it's hard to see from the press box. Did you address the offense at any time in the second half to try and get them going?
No, I talked to the team as a whole at halftime, and the one thing I'll tell you is I heard those guys. I can tell you, I heard DA once says, "Double, doesn't matter. We get the ball back. We believe in you." Ray was saying the same thing. I heard Ricky Foley say it. They kept saying, "We'll hold up until you guys come back," and that's what I'm the most proud of tonight. That those guys stood on their word.
Can you discuss your decision to call a timeout before the final whistle?
I was trying to ice our kicker. No, Milo knew we were going to call a timeout. We could have stayed in the huddle. We just wanted to run the clock down and give ourselves, give ourselves a chance in case anything went wrong.
How about Ricky Schmidt's game? You talk about the defense keeping in the game. He seemed to just keep punting.
He's phenomenal. I think he had that one that went out of bounds, but other than that, with his punting and all those things, he definitely changes the field. He changes the field, and like I said, in all three phases, we have people that can do the job for us. We just have to make sure that all three phases are clicking together and working together each and every night.
Are you going to talk to Diamond Ferry too and get the penalties that came up pretty important?
Diamond will clean those up. Those will be cleaned up. Diamond will clean those up. I can guarantee you that he's cleaned up. Those penalties are cleaned up. He gets a little too emotional when it's Montreal. Good, that's the only team he's been on, so we don't have to play them later. But Diamond is a professional player. He knows that they can hurt the team, and Diamond will get those cleaned up.
What happens to the psyche of a player when they see a guy like Anthony Calvillo go out and not come back on the defensive side of the ball? Is there a tendency to let up? Is there a tendency to become more aggressive? What goes through a defensive player's minds at that point?
It depends on who your defense. I know for us, our thing was, whether it was Anthony playing or not, we want to be aggressive, and we were still trying to get to the point to where we were trying to remove last week's out of our, taste buds and come in and try to play some championship-style defense. I thought the guys did a good job when Anthony was in there. I thought they did a good job when their backup came in there. They just kept playing. I think the guys are enjoying playing football.
What kind of a book did you have on that player?
Nothing. I just heard that he's a very good quarterback, and he's a very good quarterback, up-and-coming quarterback. But as far as getting in there, we still run the same pressure packages no matter what it is in the same defense.
That was a clean hit on Anthony, too. It was a perfect front tackle pressure. As a defensive guy, you'd want to see that.
I didn't actually see the hit. I couldn't see it from the replay. Never want anybody to leave a game, as far as with an injury. These guys, this is the way that they take care of their families, so you never want an injury. But at the same time, we want to make sure that we win and we go full speed. And like I said, if it was clean, good. If it wasn't, then I'm sure it would have been flagged. Dwight, he was level-headed this game. And, there was the one that he got called on long by S.J. Green. I think it was more of the timing went off in his head. I thought the play was over too. So, it was an extended play. Quarterback did a good job extending it and just chunked up a big one. And Dwight was there. Then after that, it was 1 or 2 catches. But Dwight came up with that interception that he hadn't had all year. And he almost had 2, so I was proud of him there.
Does this kind of get your attention? Because we're going to play another team next week that has Edmonton has been struggling too.
Well, the whole thing about it, like I said, there are no over teams in this league. All teams, they have, this is professional football. They can win a football game, and they have won football games. The biggest thing with us is we have to make sure that we don't count on other teams or the rest or anything like this. We have to be a disciplined football team, and that's all areas. And not just discipline, but we also have to make sure that we're always diligent to do all the things that we need to be so we can be aggressive, fast, and winning.
What did Gressler do? Is it anything, did he play through something that may impede him in the
You know what? I can't tell you exactly what it was. I know, like you said, it was a shoulder injury. I can't tell you exactly what it was. But, you know, he did play. And I can tell you that, like all other players, will protect him if he can't play the next week. You know, he may miss a day or two of practice, but once the doctors assess him, we'll know exactly where he is.
You're the coach of a 1,000-yard, 1,000-reception receiver.
You know, me and G-Ray go way back, and he's had all 1,000 under me. No, he's had like 5 under me. Called Wally on that one. No, you know, G-Ray's had a long career, and he's had a good career, and he's still doing things that youthful guys do. So that's kudos for him. Kudos for Darian for going over 20. Those guys have accomplishments in their football careers always big.
You wanted to get better every game as the season goes on. Do you feel you guys were better this week than last?
I feel we have to win. That's the biggest thing, you know, and at the end of the day, we can always get better in something, you know. As we move forward, you know, there's some things that we have to clean up football-wise, but I think the biggest win, like I told you I was looking forward to, or excuse me, that I was most proud about was that the victory that we had mentally, that we all stayed together and we had faith in one another.
What does it say about your team that no matter how many obstacles were thrown in front of you and people were booing in the third quarter, despite that, you were able to pull out a victory? What does that say about this group?
Each and every morning, we say it's about the men in this room. Each and every morning, that's what we talk about. Fans, you know, hey, they want to see a good game all the time, as though I do too. But, you know, it's about the men in this room, and we had to stick together. That could have been something that divided us, but we still stood together, and that's the biggest thing.